The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast, as well as its hosts, are for entertainment purposes only. The viewpoints expressed, although based on very real topics, are not to be taken as fact. With that being said, enjoy the show.
Hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast.
We back. I'm back.
Really? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast.
We back. I'm back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really? Part in the Politics podcast. Hello, world, and welcome back to Part in the Politics podcast, season 3, episode 32. I am your co-host Jeezy, along with my brothers in politics and in podcasting. My brother Manny. Manny, how you doing today, brother?
We here. We back.
Bro, we are definitely
Once
back.
again.
Oh, I'm a little different. I know we normally have a Monday release, so we got a Tuesday. You know, it's a little different, but still the same thing, still the same game.
Club going up
On a Tuesday. And we couldn't go up in the club without our brother with us. Our brother, the purveyor of truth, the chairman of chaos. Brother Chuck, how you doing, brother?
I said, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all.
Bro,
Man,
that's
what's
a
going
wild
on,
song.
my brothers?
Hey, brother. Welcome back. Welcome back, brother.
So crazy fun fact, Chuck. That was actually the first song. Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony is one of the first songs that I ever memorized.
It's a good one to memorize. It's an interesting song. It's a very interesting song. Very interesting song. Very interesting video.
Very.
But quality music. Quality.
Always.
I was we're not gonna go off on a tangent too much here, but growing up, my adolescent years and started to drive, I liked Bone Thugs, but I was more of a Crucial Conflict fan, and definitely more of a Poe Pimp. Poe Pimp and Do or Die is the group. Poe Pimp and Twister, I was more of a fan there, and my best friend was heavy Bone Thugs fan. So we kind of, I ain't gonna say clashed, but we'd go back and forth. He played East 1999, but yeah, good old times, man.
The good days. To our listeners, was so simple. To our listeners, welcome back. We hope that this episode finds you in the best space possible. And hey, we got a couple of things we want to cover this weekend. The first thing that we want to jump right into are we actually fixing problems as a country, or are we finding temporary ways to make them look better? Now, you may say, Jeezy, what in the world are you talking about? The reason I say that is because we've got another round of food recalls and hundreds.
Oh no, not again!
I'm about to. At this point, bro, I'm about to be a Presbyterian Protestant. What do they call it when you just eat fish?
Pescatarian. Look, man,
prostitute. One of the peas.
I'm a procrastinator.
I just eat fish, bro.
Look, one thing they ain't recalled yet: bacon.
Hey,
yes, they have.
You check that long list.
It was isolated, but there was remember, because I said something to you. You was like, no, it's only for this isolated area.
I
yeah,
remember.
Yeah.
Right,
then on that note, if bacon takes me out, just know.
Bruh,
he went out happy.
I went out like it's supposed to.
The bad part about it, man, you can't even be a Protestant because you're allergic to seafood. Hey, bro,
that is terrible.
you got no choice just to endure, brother.
Bro, I mean,
Hey, but hey, we found ourselves listeners at another round of food recalls. And of course, at the laundry list of recalls, of course, hundreds of people are getting sick. So we've got the White House saying one answer to these ridiculous things are to do, something that we'll talk about that clearly is just a band-aid, if you want to call it that. And we have so many other things that are going into effect that are hindering us just as a whole, from recalls to beef to the deficit. And we're going to talk about all three of those things in our segment on today. But first, we're going to start with FDA recall. So we've talked about food recall several times this year, but I almost don't want to do it again, because at some point it starts sounding like we're just going down a laundry list of things that, don't eat this, don't eat that, and apparently don't eat neither. I mean, I guess it's just this, that, or neither.
I'm on an air diet.
Right. At some
places you can't drink the water.
Right.
Because of data centers.
Hey, bro. But this last of recalls and this last round that we've had is getting hard to ignore. Just to give you a few details, the biggest active outbreak right now includes jalapeno peppers, from Mexico, that were distributed by Coast Central distributors. According to the FDA, there are now 431 reported illnesses across 32 states, 57 hospitalizations, and thankfully no deaths. And the FDA has said the investigation is still ongoing. And we're not just talking about something or somebody buying a bag of jalapenos and getting sick. That's not what's happening. These peppers work their way through the food system. They went to distributors, then wholesalers, then manufacturers, then restaurants and food service companies. And some companies then use those peppers in other products. So now you're talking about salsa, you're talking about pico de gallo, you're talking about guacamole, you're talking about prepared foods. And products containing these jalapenos ended up being sold through places including Walmart, Target, Trader Joe's, Kroger's, Whole Foods, and others. And you even have places like Chipotle, who have also received these jalapenos from distributors. Now, I want to make the distinction here. And I don't want anybody or somebody to say that we're telling you that Chipotle is giving people salmonella. That's not what we're saying. That's not what's happening.
I mean, that's how the queso tastes, though.
Yes, God knows that queso.
It's trash. I don't care who you are.
That vinaigrette be hitting, though.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on who make it. Because I've been to certain Chipotle. Certain people don't make the vinaigrette the same, bro. And
I mean, that's just like cooking.
It's true.
Just
some people
do
it right.
Some people follow directions. Some people don't. And some people just do things that they know just make things a lot better and more efficient. So
that's a fact.
So both companies, because Qdoba was in this as well too, received affected product through the supply chain, and both stopped using it. And the FDA says that there are no longer any outgoing risks associated with those restaurants from this particular outbreak. But while that was happening, guess what? We've got more. We now have another outbreak, and that's involving alfalfa sprouts. So the company Everything Sprouts recalled certain Everyday Sprouts and Calco branded alfalfa sprouts because of certain contaminations with both Shiga toxin producing E. coli and salmonella. The outbreak has been connected to 55 illnesses in 15 states with 4 hospitalizations. And again, thankfully, no deaths. And both North Carolina and South Carolina were among those states that had cases. Then outside of those outbreaks, we've got more recalls. Outshine recalls certain fruit bars. Can't even enjoy a fruit bar no more, bro, because they contain glass.
Which is wild. Like how? You guys, they just, first of all, the thing comes in a cardboard box wrapped in plastic. Where's this glass coming from?
Where is glass, bro? Somebody was drinking a 40 around the conveyor belt and dropped their 40, and the glass went everywhere and got into the mix.
Reach for my 40 and I turned it up.
But wait, there's more, brothers.
Oh man,
I know this is crazy. The Grand Central Bakery recalled potato sourdough over potential metal pieces. Prince Bakery had bread recall for undeclared milk and sesame. Mom Chips recalled veggie chip products over undeclared gluten. And that's just all happening within days of each other. And now where I think we have to be careful. It's easy to hear all this and say the FDA isn't doing their job. But there's another way to look at it. The reason that these things happen is because somebody detected them, they traced them, investigated them, and they issued recalls. So arguably, recalls can also be evidence that the food safety system might actually be working. My concern is something different. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Look at what happened with one batch or source of jalapenos. One ingredient got contaminated in Mexico. It enters the United States through a distributor. Then it moves through wholesalers. Restaurants get it. Manufacturers get it. Somebody chops it up and puts it in salsa. Somebody else puts it in guacamole. Somebody else puts it in prepared meals. Now the one contaminated ingredient reaches people all across the country.
Bubble guts from Mexico.
Bro, but when you look at it and see that chain, right, that's how interconnected the food system has become. And that means that when something goes wrong, it isn't necessarily local anymore, right? You can't just trim it down to just this one area or this one avenue or this lane. So the first question I want to present to you, Chuck, is this. With the number of recalls and outbreaks we've been seeing recently, should Americans be losing confidence in the safety of the food supply? Or does catching these problems show that indeed the system may actually be working?
The system is failed. The system is not working. And the leadership of, well, let me, it's not working effectively.
Okay, there we go.
The leadership is incompetent at the very top. And that from the president to the head of Health and Human Services, and then there's a trickle-down effect. Now, the people at the FDA, I'm not saying are incompetent. They lack the resources. And in this, everything goes back to those that's screwed up right now.
All things.
So
all things.
When you call yourself trimming the fat, appropriately saying when talking about food, but you've cut back the amount of individuals that are able to go out and hold inspections. You cut back the amount of individuals and programs that's put in place to mitigate and minimize certain risk. Manny talked about it in his spotlight with that the fly or whatever that infected the cattle.
Oh, yes.
So there was a program that was with the FDA that was in place to monitor these things. You remove this. First off, they were in place for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there.
And we have forgotten that over so many, like not just the FDA, all
these things. Yes.
If I eat McDonald's for 3 meals a day, and I blow up
an iron stomach.
Yes, jeez. Facts. And I blow up to 500 pounds, and I stop eating McDonald's, and I go all the way back down.
Yeah.
But then I start eating McDonald's again. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get back up there. And it's like we have forgotten the preventative steps we've taken in a lot of these places to keep things safe. And just because it's stopped happening does not mean
exactly
it's not going to reoccur.
Exactly.
Again,
if these measures are for a reason.
If there's a mosquito, well, we deal with malaria. So malaria is not in the U.S., but I guess what? If we stop messing around,
you know what it is?
You
know what it is? West Nile.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there was a confirmed case, and I'm not gonna get too far off food, but it was to this point, it was a confirmed case in the same county that I live in here in Georgia.
Unless we're like eradicating completely the carrier of said thing, It's not gone.
Yep.
Even that. You know what? I feel like it happens once a year. We hear about some scientists been at the Arctic Circle and then grabbed an ice sample and that they want to
leave it alone.
Leave it thawed.
It's there for a reason.
But it's like we keep forgetting these things and we keep taking these protections down and we are resting on our laurels. There it goes.
That's very, very much so. And to that point, in preparing for this episode and doing a rundown, with the exception of the greatest month in the year, April, we have a reported case of either illness or something on a recall every month this year.
Wow, bro.
And in this, some of them are minimal. Some of them are self-reported by these companies, and then the FDA goes and does a recall. But I want to emphasize one of the most popular ones that's come out this year, and it just happened in July. And that's the Cyclospora recall, or AKA explosive booty.
Right.
So
that's wild.
Y'all remember when Dave Chappelle had that sitcom, bro? With the mud butt,
and he blew up off the toilet. Yes. All right, we're not gonna gross y'all out too much, but yeah, mud butt was hilarious. But I emphasize this particular one because the vast number of cases of illness. It wasn't a matter of a bad batch and then it got caught. Like, this thing spread across states. First, it was an isolated area, and then next thing you know, that isolated area of maybe 3 states ballooned to 15, and then that ballooned to like 30 something states. And I want to give pushback on the smear campaign that happened with my dear Taco Bell. I love me some Taco Bell.
Look, man,
nacho fries.
I call them Taco Hell.
Hey, Taco Bell held the kid down, man.
Hey, even now, the grilled cheese steak burrito, nice though, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. top tier.
Yes, sir.
But they go out and they try to blame Taco Bell as if they did something wrong. Mm-hmm. Then we look at the root cause, kind of like the breakdown that you gave, Jeezy. Yeah. Yes, the recall is on jalapenos, but how many different iterations of these jalapenos integrated into other things? Mm-hmm. So now they want to say it was the lettuce. Well, as things continue to roll back, or they peel the onion back, as you would say, you realize that Taylor Farms, the supplier of the lettuce to Taco Bell, also had other iterations of lettuce, shredded lettuce, at many different companies and being sold. You had it at Walmart. You had it. I was about to say the wrong story, and I don't want to call. Anyway, I know for sure Walmart because it was a Walmart brand. It was Taylor Foods under a Walmart brand, but you had many different instances. But the first name that got called out was Taco Bell. Then they tried to put it on. Hold on, Manny, real quick, because they tried to put it on lettuce coming out of Mexico. And here is my pushback on that. And this is where I speak to the lack of resources for the FDA, because there was a separate testing done on the lettuce grown in Mexico, and they passed. No issues. Mm-hmm. There was a test done on lettuce out of California, and that was hush mouth. I mean, because when it first came out, they were like, "Oh, it was this," and then Trump kind of gave Taylor Farms some praise, and they walked it back and was like, "No, that was a false positive test." But then after those statements, we had more and more variations of Taylor Farms lettuce that kept getting recalled.
The biggest thing that stands out with me, Chuck, and the whole Taylor Farms thing, you hit it on the end, is how many sub brands this Taylor Farms stuff. And I feel like the thing that we're also just not talking about is our general food chain. Like,
the monster,
the fact
the
that it's like five people.
Yes,
it's five. Yep. It's not like we're sourcing from. Everyone's getting it from the same exact place, throwing their labels on. Yep. So everything keeps getting obfuscated over and over and over, and we can't see it. One of the things when I look at this entire thing, and I brought it up as we were prepping for this, is like, are we being over sensationalized right now? Yeah. So I went and looked at the numbers. I'm like, hey, when it rains, it pours. So we're just the news stations are seeing that people are watching these stories. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. And I went and did some analysis. If you look at 2025, 2024, and 2023, there were 320 recalls in 25, 296 in 24, and 312. Right now for the year in 2026, we're looking at about 160-ish. Now, by the time some other people, you all listen to this, that number may have changed. So if you look at our pacing, we're actually behind in a degree in terms of our pacing. But I think what the biggest problem here is how many people are actually getting sick.
Yes.
And that's where we're starting to get hairy. This whole thing around the Clospora, it is the third largest outbreak.
Hold on, let's clear that word up because that was a little questionable. Not questionable in a bad way. Cyclospora.
Y'all read the Bible. Y'all know what I was talking about.
No. This is a family broadcast.
Sorry. Cyclospora.
Be in my house, we will serve the Lord.
We serve the Lord.
Cyclospora. So the third largest in history with the almost 11,000 cases.
Yes.
But the two ahead of it, humongous. Pause.
I was about to say, thank you.
In 1985, there was a salmonella issue in milk that affected 168,000 people and caused 9 deaths. And then in 1994, and I feel like I remember this, but not contextually enough to be able to say, there was a salmonella outbreak with ice cream in 94 that affected 224,000 people nationwide.
Was that in butter pecan or was it?
Had to be.
No, that was vanilla.
Definitely,
that was vanilla. But I was going to say, was it in the store brand Napoleon ice cream? Yes, I messed that up on purpose, people. I messed it up on purpose. But yeah, if it won't butter pecan or the store brand Napoleon,
it didn't affect my community.
It ain't.
We good. We good.
Black Dynamite.
Yes. So I think to a degree with some of the reporting, we're being sensationalized, raising everything. But also I think about it this is 2026.
That's what I was going to say, brother. Yes.
People waiting to sue somebody. So it is
from my standpoint. You went a different direction.
Uno reverse.
Yes, sir.
From my standpoint, if I look at the businesses are incentivized to find this stuff and self-report.
Yes.
Just so if anything goes sideways, you're like, whoa. We found it. We said something. That's not us. That's not us.
Yep.
So I think they're incentivized, to kind of be forthcoming from a legal standpoint. But what point did you think I was going to make?
I was going to go to the point of it's 2026 and the level of technology that we have, we should not be encountering a cyclospora outbreak of this nature with almost 11,000 sicknesses with, I think the number was like 12 to 13,000 more being tested or investigated to confirm if they were associated with this outbreak, and 2 deaths.
Yeah.
And 2 deaths over. And I'm gonna try not to gross you out, but if you don't know what cyclospora is, it is a very resistant bacteria caused by human fecal matter being spread on a plant.
Poop lettuce.
Poop lettuce.
Jesus.
And so in that, and that's why I'm emphasizing the point of the level of technology. They can see what I am wearing in the strands of hair on my face from space with a satellite, but we cannot have detection system in the irrigation or spraying of our produce to make sure people don't get sick.
I mean,
that's capitalism.
We can't put no flock cameras in.
Bro, who out there?
Ain't nobody trying to get a subscription.
But I think you make a great point. Like,
yeah,
these pesticides ain't like you spray our food for everything else.
Everything.
But
everything.
Can't spray it to kill this stuff.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
No,
but at what cost?
It's so in this and researching and actually when it first was reporting, because in the part of the reason for this, my wife loves salads, and so she'll eat a salad all day long, and she was devastated. Some of the recalls, there were some bag pre-made salads that was a part of it. We got ours from a different store than that was part of the recall, but she was a little worried. And I said, well, try it if you want to. Hey, we'll see.
But as for me and mine, we're going to Bojangles.
Oh, I'm good.
Chuck, I feel bad because my wife had called and was like, hey, I had bought something that had lettuce and I didn't know there was a recall. And she was like, I just got my lunch and I don't know what to do. Like, hey,
you better eat it. You don't waste that money.
Hey, you got to do.
Pray and see how the Lord work.
But Chuck, that point, and I think, is the other part of this story that is kind of also being swept under the rug. Grocery store prices have seen upwards 33%, and a bag of pre-made salad.
Yes,
at least $6-7 at least. And it's being super conservative.
I'm gonna have a conversation with my wife. She's spending $6-7 on the bag of lettuce. She don't spend that much. I
think Manny talking about the pre-made, like the one.
It's pre-made. Yeah. No, it's pre-made. It has the
oh, okay, the stuff,
all the stuff mixed up in it, and also the dressing. Okay, but we shop at nah. See,
you shop at one of the Mabdani stores, grocery
store. No.
The Outpost.
No. Actually, it's German. We be real about it. It's German, not Furman, German. But I'm. If she listens to this episode, she's gonna give me so much hell because I talk so much trash about this store. Because she loves it, but I ain't mad at them because their prices are pretty good. Like what you pay for a carton of eggs, I pay a little bit less, but it's a legit store. But I talk trash about it, so I ain't gonna give them no shout out with their name because ain't nobody cutting us no check. Nope. But I think it's like $4. It's like $4 and some change in the pre-made salad bag. But to your point, Manny,
people got
groceries cost too much money.
People got to throw this away.
I got to pay all that money to get sick.
If I'm throwing away,
I should have ate some lettuce. I'm trying to lose some weight.
Brother, here we go.
If I'm trying, a bag of lettuce that you throw away is essentially a gallon of gas.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But on both sides.
Right. And now I just gotta throw this away.
You're right.
As Orlando Brown says, you make us pay so much for things that God gave us for free.
For free. For free.
You will burn.
The fact that you quoted Orlando Brown is diabolical.
I know, right? Wow, but he had a point.
He does.
Who would have thought Orlando Brown quoted on when we started this thing?
They say a broken clock is right twice a day. Broken mind is as well.
Put it on the t-shirt.
Message. But one thing I will say, and as I looked at some of these recalls, I started thinking, and I couldn't help but think about our community, brother. Our 10-4 hat community.
Oh man,
it's popping. It's popping.
Hey, look,
Are you think they trying to push back against GLP-1 medications?
I'm not. I haven't got that far into it yet. But I just wanted to say that a lot of people talking say, "Hey, look, we didn't have all these issues when they started cracking down on this immigration the way they have, bro. It ain't been at this level.
Produce from
who knows how to farm and produce this stuff? None other than
who was doing the job properly.
Bingo.
Produce from Mexico turned out to be okay.
I'm just saying, bro.
It was the jalapenos, not the avocados from Mexico.
They started to talk. They saying, "Hey, look, all this immigration. That not saying that there won't be some, but this laundry list is getting a little long. And there won't be a problem when you getting rid of the wrong people." But I digress. When it comes to all of this, you're dealing with a lot of things here. You're dealing with agriculture, right? You're dealing with animals. Yes. You're dealing with bacteria. You're dealing with millions upon millions of produce moving every day. But what I do expect in all of this is transparency about where our food comes from and how it gets to us. When we talk about that, that brings us to our next point.
Oh, real quick before we go to the next point, and I want to emphasize what you're saying, because I was going to say this. The FDA is our trusted source to make sure this stuff is right.
Their only job.
That's who we count on. If somebody's, and it's funny because it could be super trash. You're like, oh, it's FDA approved. Think about that.
We give like, okay.
Okay. They got the FDA stamp, so yeah. But then you got all these side effects. That's a scroll up.
We might have to start questioning the FDA endorsement, bro. That thing might be bad, bro. Was it a Trump endorsement?
I think about the farmers too. Like, you already having issues with drought and stuff. You're like, finally actually be able to get a crop out there. Now your crop messed.
It might not even be your crop. It might not even be yours,
bro.
Everybody looking at it.
You just catching it straight. You just catching it straight just because, bro.
Just because.
What you harvest? Ooh.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Hey, bro. Agriculture, man, they catching the mean straight, man, and that kind of, and they ain't the only ones. That brings us to our next part, and that is, as Winn-Dixie would say, beef is what's for dinner.
Oh man, Winn-Dixie,
we're a proper people, bro.
Ooh, we're a proper people, bro.
You wanted some premium beef? You had to go to Winn-Dixie, bro.
God, man,
had to, bro. Is Winn-Dixie still around? Like, I mean, just anywhere.
It is. Okay. You got to find like those self-run stores.
Okay.
No, there's some Winn-Dixie grocery stores. No, it's a corporate. I want to say there's somewhere in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Man.
But yeah, it's not as large of a footprint as it used to be. In fact, we ain't got to guess. I'll find out in just a second. But I do know for a fact.
I remember them commercials growing up as a kid. Beef. Them two old ladies.
Yes, sir.
It's what's for dinner.
What's for dinner. And then they had the one with the cowboy.
Yep.
And then they had the image of the steak that pop up on the screen with the USDA sear on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the closest to me is in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, I knew it was something in Florida.
If Florida wasn't so terrible, I'd love to go down there just for the nostalgia. But I'll just settle with Piggly Wiggly. But beef is where we're at right now. Because beef prices right now, as we have stated on this podcast numerous times, are ridiculous. Beef prices are insane.
Beef prices is why I've limited my cookouts this summer. And the fact that it was 8 bajillion degrees outside, but also about beef prices.
I made a baked spaghetti yesterday, bro, and went and got me some ground beef, and I just sat there with my hands.
You gotta contemplate that thing.
I sat with my hands folded behind my arm, behind my back, and just walked and looked at them prices. This was like, bro, thank you, Donald Trump.
Bro, I do two things now when I buy beef. I take it, I double bag it, and then I go weigh it.
To make sure you getting what they're
Bro, I'm not playing.
Bro, going back to the back and telling them, hey man, listen, you shorted me some beef.
This says 1.25 This is
You
this
shorted
is
me some beef, bro.
1.15. I'm not. I don't even need you to short it. I need you to put the right label on here because I'm not paying
bring that
for
price
beef
down,
I ain't
bro.
getting.
Exactly.
Bring that price down.
There's a guy on social media who just like goes in the store, like he's got a
that
scale.
guy. Yeah.
His beef with Domino's Sugar is it. Literally just set up his scale in a Walmart on a shelf, calibrates it. He's like, fail. Tear.
Yeah, I need.
Oh yeah,
I need all the beef I paid for. Either you need to reduce that price, bro. I need a.
So
I need
it's two industries that we need to go after. Those who sell bag chips.
Oh Jesus!
Donald Trump.
Ridiculous.
I don't pay for air. I got air. I get it for free.
I got air in my lungs. I got the good Lord's air in my lungs.
If I want my bag to be filled with air, I can just open it and blow in it. If I
look, Donald Trump. Now you
want to do something right.
Pod, we don't agree on a lot of things, but I don't agree with
right
your
there?
use. But if you want midterms,
you get that bag to
coming
75%, bro.
At least.
At
Come on,
75. I'm happy because right now they're giving us about 40. They're giving us about 41 to 39,
40.
somewhere around
40.
Bro, I'm thinking more like 32 to 35,
30.
Yeah. It depends on which chip you buy, though.
That is true.
That's true.
Because
if you get, we hear product placement. Those doggone flavor twists, maybe about 70, 72.
Yeah.
It's respectable.
Yeah.
Your white cheddar popcorn, I ain't gonna call the brands. That'd be about 65, 70. I can accept that.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Mm-hmm.
But your
Lay's,
nacho cheese.
I'm about to say Lay's got to go.
Lay's is criminal.
Insane. They putting airbags in the. I open the bag and it's like the pill bottles, bro. I got to go through all the tissue to get to the pills. I got to go through the airbag just to get to the chips, bro. Insane, bro. But this whole beef thing is not just us complaining because we remember when we could go to the grocery store with $20 and can actually leave with something. Bro, if my grandma was alive today, bro, and gave me $20 to go to the grocery store, and I came back with no change and half of the stuff on her list I couldn't get.
Half,
bro.
Man,
yeah, you're right.
You must be buying it on clearance. You get half. Because if she got a list of 5, you might get one and a half.
Jeez,
my grandma would swear down that I was doing drugs, bro, and I'm stealing her money for crack.
I remember after I got into ECU, it was the first time I had an off-campus apartment.
Yeah.
So I went up to Food Line in Greenville, got groceries.
Good old Food Line.
$100. I got on the phone with my dad, livid. I said,
"Oh yeah, bro." Yeah.
First, I was like, "How did you feed all of us when I just spent $100?" Lo and behold, what that cart full of food would have cost me right now.
Hey, bro. First thing they tell you, bro, put them snacks back.
Your pension and your 401k.
Yep.
Put them back.
You gotta take out a loan for that,
bro.
Bro, but
man.
When you look at beef, man, the average price of ground beef was around $6.98 a pound in July. And the beef prices overall are substantially higher than they were 5 years ago. It's been reported that beef prices have risen about 57% over the past 5 years. And there's a very basic reason. We don't have enough cattle. The U.S. cattle herd has fallen to its lowest level in about 75 years. So years of drought push ranchers to reduce their herds. But guess what? Everything else has gone up. Feed got expensive.
Yeah.
Operating costs got expensive. To our listeners who don't know, diesel prices, everything around a rancher and dealing with them herds and them cattle is ran by diesel.
Yeah.
So extra operating costs. Ranchers sent cattle to slaughter instead of holding females back so they could reproduce. And here's the problem with cattle. You can't turn production back on. This is not like, if you go to McDonald's and you need more fries, you just go and say, hey, somebody drop some more potatoes, grab another bag out the freezer. No. With beef, you've got to retain cows for breeding, get them pregnant, wait for
gotta go
calves.
through the natural process.
Wait for calves, but like they tell you in church, we got to slow walk them.
Gotta slow walk. Yes, sir.
You gotta wait for the calves to be born. Then you have to raise those calves, and then eventually those animals become part of the beef supply. If you can't add 2 plus 2, let me help you. That takes years. That takes years with an S.
Years.
So the Trump administration has come up with a short-term answer. And boy, don't you love it when they can come up with a plan. Trump announced that the United States will temporarily allow up to 300,000 additional metric tons of imported ground beef material into the country at reduced tariff rates over a 90-day period. So that's to our listeners, so that just to help you compartmentalize that is about 661 million pounds of beef. Now, Trump says the arrangement will help drive down consumer costs and has talked about the product coming in at around about 25% below current market price. So at first glance, you may say, okay, great. Beef costs too much, bring more beef in, supply goes up, price goes down, economics 101. Clearly, if you agree with that, as my brother Chuck has said, we know what grade you got when you took economics.
Yep.
Facts.
Bro. But then you start really looking at this and it provides another question. First of all, where in the world
is Carmen Sandiego?
Where is Carmen Sandiego? And wherever she's at, where are they getting 300,000 metric tons of extra beef from in 90 days? Bro, because the first rumor, the first rumor, I don't know if I heard this, and even the artist SZA came out and posted it on her social, said, hey, that beef coming from Argentina. And
almost definitely.
And you don't want that Argentina beef. Now, Argentina is definitely a part of this story. Earlier this year, and there's a reason why Argentina's name is getting thrown around. Earlier this year, the administration already expanded Argentina's beef quota. Argentina was previously had a 20,000 metric ton annual quota. And in February, the administration added another 80,000 metric ton of lean beef trimmings divided into quarterly allotments. And Argentina has absolutely been increasing its exports to America. Argentina's beef exports to the United States surged sharply this year as Argentine ranchers become focused more heavily on their foreign markets. So when people hear Trump talking about another 300,000 ton of foreign beef, they connect those two stories and they say, okay, so the beef is coming from Argentina. But we don't know that. But that's a problem. We don't know where it's coming from. They asked Trump, where's the beef coming from?
Cows.
Trump said,
he said they coming from cows.
Trump said, hey,
in best case scenario, worst case scenario,
it'll be here. That's all you need to worry about.
Trump said,
do you want this burger or not?
Hey, bro. Bro, Trump essentially did what you do if you was a kid at the family cookout and they said, hey, you want a hamburger? And you say, where the hamburger come from? The next thing, if a hand ain't coming down, the next thing they gonna give you, they gonna throw a hot dog on your plate and send it to you down their face. But don't ask me where this came from. Just take it. If you want a hamburger, here's a hamburger.
Do you want it?
Do you want
or not?
My grandma used to say, do you want it or not?
One thing being a parent has done for me,
hey, bro,
is put all of these sayings into context.
Hey, bro, all of them that you felt was so, bro. All that you felt was so disrespectful that it's like, bro, nah. It was warranted.
I understand.
It was warranted. But with Argentina could certainly be one of the suppliers. Trump didn't say exactly who, but they could. But the USDA data shows countries such as Brazil, Australia, Canada, Mexico, and New Zealand are already major suppliers to the United States, while imports from Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Nicaragua have also been growing. In today's time, there's another development that's going on that Trump has done. The United States has reopened the Douglas, Arizona border crossing to Mexican cattle. after he had closed it for about 15 months because of concerns surrounding, guess what? New World screwworm.
Screwworm.
The bovine from Mexico.
But economists are warning people not to expect what to suddenly make of the ground beef being cheap again, because Mexico traditionally supplies only 3% of the cattle used in the United States, and the reopening it's water in a bucket. It's a drop in a bucket. So that doesn't solve this. But here's where it gets even more interesting. America isn't experiencing the beef problem in isolation. Everybody. The entire globe, bro. The beef market is tight. So
I know who ain't got no problem with it though.
Whoa.
Yeah, pause first. I felt like I needed it. Yeah. I was like, the beef market is tight as wild.
Okay, bro. Brutus the barber.
Whoa. Yeah, that's wild. That's agreed. That's definitely a yellow card. That's definitely a yellow card. So I'll take that.
Oh shit.
But the USDA forecasts worldwide beef production in 2026 at roughly 61.6 million metric tons. So it's down 1% from last year. So production is expected to decline in the United States, Brazil, China, the European Union, and Australia. And the global beef exports are also projected to fall about 1% to approximately 13.8 million metric tons. So think about that. America says we're short on beef. Brazil's production is expected to be down. Australia's production is expected to be down. Europe is down. China's down. Worldwide exports are expected to be down. And America's solution is somebody find us 300,000 tons of discounted beef over the next 3 months. And Trump, I want to say, from where?
Look.
Well, he told you. He actually initially he did say he played the dumb game, but I think a couple of days ago he came out and said it was coming from Argentina because he made the comment. One of the field reporters was asking him after he said it was coming from Argentina, and he said, "What about the ranchers here in the United States?
Ooh,
they're going through it, they're suffering." And he had the audacity, and I'm trying to get the exact quote because I do not want to misquote this man.
Hey, bro.
Hold on.
Ranchers, if you didn't know what the playing field was looking like, you should have asked them farmers, because you about to be right in the same boat, bro. Them ranchers, bro. I've been seeing on social media Chuck, while you getting it ready. I've been seeing on social media what these ranchers actually like going in depth about what this does to them and how this impacts them. And I'm like, bro, this is farmers 2.0.
Yeah.
Like terrible. And you've had Republican senators now, not Democrat, Republican senators from cattle producing states, including Deb Fisher from Nebraska, Tom Shee from Montana, Pete Ricketts from Nebraska. They've expressed their concern about this. You know, consumers want relief, but bro, not at the expense of killing the ranchers.
So from the guy who campaigned on America First,
farmers, farmers.
His response to the reporter asking him about American ranchers and how this importing of 300 metric tons of beef will impact them, he said, "Well, Argentina is fighting for its life. They're dying."
What? Sir, what does that have to do with the price of beef in the United States?
Hey, bro.
America first, though.
So, hey, man, y'all have the quality of the day that you voted for, bro.
Here's the question that I have across all of this, because none of this makes sense. And I feel like if you were to ask any expert, they would have been like, yeah, this is probably not going to work. First thing I'll call out with all of this is the third time that Trump has had meat imported into the United States like this. Like, he keeps doing it and it keeps not working. So
he got to use the imported meat.
Yeah. So.
To an island.
Hey, that was from the court of files.
I think the part that got me is this 25% below market. And it gets me for two different reasons. First, how? And how are you going to make sure this 25% below market rate stays that way through the packer, through the distributor, and through the grocery chains? Yep. And then on top of that, let's not act like the big packers. I gotta find their names. Like Tyson Farms, Cargill, like
recently, just lay people off.
Just lay people out.
Shut down plants.
But then earlier this year, they agreed to pay a combined $87.5 million to settle a federal suit that they were conspiring together to inflate grocery prices. Like this just recent. So there's no guarantee that it's going to actually going to hit anybody. Actually, no, it is a guarantee it's going to hit somebody. Shareholders at probably one of those.
Oh yeah, it's going to hit them. They're going to be happy about
that. Yeah.
And then what is the quality of the, you said like what, meat trimmings? Sorry. What?
That sounds like
I was starting to get real mad. I was getting real
That sounds like the part of the meat that they put in the bologna.
Yep. Right.
Bologna.
Right.
We about to get bologna hamburgers.
You have all this that is not going to deal with the current problem.
Nope.
Then on the other side, like we said, the farmers. How are we supporting that? How are we propping them up? They need time. And lowering the price of what they need to sell
undercuts them even more.
Isn't going to help them at all. So how do you support them?
Bro, that's a major slap in the face.
And then let's also think about all the factors that drove towards this. And I'm still doing some research in this before I can have a really good rant about it. But it is my understanding at this point, and I think this is going to affect the U.S. for decades, centuries. We are on the tail end of what is considered to be one of the wettest times in history in terms of rainfall.
Depending on where you are.
I know across like when you look at centuries.
Are you talking about the span of time?
Gotcha, the span of time. So we're potentially exiting a time where it's going to be drier, and we have all this infrastructure built under the rainfalls and water production cycles that we've seen from this year that are now looking from a science standpoint maybe to not be as consistent. So Jeezy, you talked about the dams last week. What issues with that? So we have all these external factors that are factoring in to not helping this cattle herds rise, because consistently it's been a 9% growth year over year in beef demand. But here, geez, I went ahead and did some thinking.
Oh, you got ahead of me because I was about to ask you. Look at your top hat, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Could this all be a ploy to get us to a point where we are okay with purchasing and consuming lab-grown meats?
You dirty rascal.
Bro.
Oh, that was just
you dirty rascal.
Hey, bro.
You dirty rascal.
So already throwing it out there.
So I went and looked. Right now, a pound of lab-grown meat is somewhere between $10 and $20. And like we look at that now and like a couple years ago, it's still more. But that jump from something costing $7 to something costing $10,
yeah,
not that far. Not that far.
Hey man, I'm about to just go ahead and get my taste buds rewired to Beyond Meat.
Hey, I was about to say, Jeezy, can I be Pentecostal and eat nothing but fish and shrimp?
Hey, I'm about to get a stick in the rod, bro. Just go out there and start.
I'm about to start.
They teach a man to fish.
What about me, Jesus? I'm
gonna start opening my pantry and say, you did it for 5,000. Do it for me. I declare and decree, if you can
that was 5,000 men. They ain't count the women and children.
They ain't count the women and children. If you can do that off of 5 small barley loaves and 2 fish, do it for me.
I'm about to put up.
The prophet could go to the woman's house and she had her last flower and her last oil.
And it just kept going.
You can do it for me.
In 2026, I need you to do it for me.
Look,
I need all that stuff to come to fruition, right?
I'm about to do like Rick Ross told us to do. I'm about to get a fence. I'm start raising a whole bunch of chickens. Quack, 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 quack.
Listen, Manny, don't listen to Rick Ross. Your neighbor's gonna come over there.
Hey, bro,
you gonna have a problem. Rick Ross ain't got no neighbors.
Yeah, you do.
That's true. That's true. Look, I got some deer that occasionally show up in my backyard.
Yeah.
I'm about to go ahead and get back on that Beyond Burgers, bro. I got to do something, bro. Ground turkey. I'm just gonna have to get Tim McDonald's give me some of that beef seasoning they use on their fake burgers.
But where they getting their vegetables from Taylor Farms? Because now I'm just
at Bestcom.
I'm going to the farmers market, right? And the local grown stuff. That's all I'm touching.
Look,
went there the other day. But Manny, hold on. Let's bring that hat back, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now you did. You ran the play, the annexation of Puerto Rico, on getting us comfortable with lab grown food, because I was there with you. But also, and I had you play the theme song because this is unfounded information. That 300 metric tons of beef was offered to China, according to reports.
Yes.
And they rejected it.
Yep.
No.
China don't want it.
This don't go in my beef stir fry.
You know what? I'm about to find me a local farmer.
Just like with this plane,
hey,
the Qataris said, no, we don't want it.
We don't want it.
Trump said, I'll take it. He's good at sloppy seconds.
Bruh. If they don't want it in their beef and broccoli, why do I want it in mine?
At all.
To all of our listeners, if you are in the state of North Carolina and you run a farm and you are willing to sell a cow, hit the boys up.
You don't want to sell it.
No. I can buy you can buy an entire cow like butchered. I don't.
Oh, you talking about butcher?
Oh,
yeah.
That's what. Okay.
Go ahead and butcher.
I'm with you. Yes.
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing.
They carry it to the processor and just get them to get it clean, man.
No.
You got some places that they'll do all that.
Oh, they'll do it all. Okay.
Cut the different sections, the different meats. Yeah.
Hey, man, there's a guy at my job, man. That's about 3 doors down from my office. He processed all his stuff, bro. And they say he sausage, bacon, all that stuff. Had to have a conversation with him.
Oh yeah,
Nick, if you listen to the podcast, bro, I need to holler at you, bro. Nick, I need to talk to you. We got to work something out.
Nick, no, if you processing, where do you get the cat? Like, help me,
bro. I need to buy a whole cow. Man, what you gonna do when that bacon hit $15, bro?
Ooh.
You already know.
You gonna be a Muslim?
I'm gonna pay the $15.
You ain't converting?
No, he ain't. Assalamu laking the nothing.
No.
Assalamu bacon.
Now I may only eat one slice of a time, but I'm not.
You can't never eat one slice of good bacon, bro.
I'm just gonna.
I'm about to say you a lie if you tell me you ate one slice of bacon only. I don't care who you are,
especially if it's thick cut and it's the right thick cut, bro.
Woo, it's either you don't eat bacon at all,
or you enjoy some bacon,
or you enjoy. Ain't no middle ground.
Ain't no middle ground, bro.
Ain't no middle ground.
I just Googled it. It's for a whole cow. That's about 350 pounds of packaged meat. It's about $10.50 a pound.
Hey man,
$3,500 for 350 pounds of meat.
Y'all eat on that for a long time.
Yeah, that's at least a year.
Or if the price get too high, Manny, you can just go an alternative route. The Bureau of Land Management manages wild horses and bureaus in the federal land, and according to them, in the past fiscal year, they sold about 3,718 wild horses and burros. So that's a whole lot of
first off, How do you sell a wild horse?
The same way they sell you water.
Never mind. Orlando Brown, sorry.
Hey.
You just be here for free.
So there's been an increase in rounding up a lot of wild horses, and those sales have more than doubled. So people starting to kind of connect the dots and saying, "Hey, look,
well, it didn't help that the report came out. Yeah, that report, everything fell in line.
Bruh.
We're gonna release 300 metric tons of beef or meat." And then the report, the Trump administration had approved rounding up these wild horses and sending them to slaughter. Hold up, cuz.
Now, but this the crazy thing though. The BLM stated policy is that these wild horses are not supposed to be sold for slaughter or commercial processing, but as always, there's a loophole. There's a loophole in all of this. The agency has actually strengthened its sales agreement language, so purchasers must certify that they will not knowingly, recklessly, or by neglect transfer the animals to slaughter operation, kill pens, or businesses processing animals into commercial products. But there's a legitimate hole in the system. Once a horse is sold, rather than adopted, the BLM says that the animal immediately becomes, guess what? Private property.
And they said they were sending them to outside the U.S. to get chopped up.
Yep. So the BLM acknowledges that they do not track sold animals after the sale is completed. Now, come on now. Come on.
Now, I will say, and thankfully, right now, a federal judge did step in and block or pause the wild horse. Try to say that 5 times fast. Wild horse roundups across the American West. I know there was one ruling in July as well in California, and another one in Nevada in August. But it's very crazy for me to when this report came out, because in living on the coast of North Carolina, right there on the aisles, is a bunch of wild horses, and they running free. And I remember I've seen them, being out there with my compadres during that time, and I'm being the only guy of melanated complexion. but those horses weren't the healthiest, hardiest looking of animals.
You think you got some recalls now?
When you live off the land in the wild,
you're gonna be thinner.
Generally, you're lean.
Lean.
Yep.
Lean and gamey. And the only thing that I'm gonna eat close to a horse is some deer.
I won't even do that.
Oh, I done had some deer in my life.
Man. I can't do it, bro.
Listen, I didn't know it was deer at first. By the time I got
like
finished,
I got like that again. And cuss that joker slam out. Don't you ever trick me like that again.
How dare you have me eat Bambi?
Bruh, I can't do it. But you got this connection that's going on where a lot of people saying, I don't know if you guys have seen on social media, but people have actually made videos where they're trying to tell you ahead of time, like, hey,
identify.
This is how you can identify ground beef and ground horse. I guess is what we got to call a ground horse. And to your point, Chuck, they aren't as healthy. The ground nag. They aren't as healthy. They are very lean. There's a gaminess to it. But a lot of people are sitting here doing, they're connecting the dots, playing Connect 4 and saying 2 + 2. Like, hey, you said that you're getting all this meat that's coming in, but there's a global shortage. We've captured more wild horses than we have in previous years, and they're getting sent out of the country. And once they're sold, there is no record of what happens after that. And though there is some, details as far as you can't slaughter them once they become sold in their private property. Okay. So we could be having horse burgers soon.
You could be eating Mr. Ed,
bro. Wouldn't even know.
Think about that. You eating the offspring of Secretariat.
We went from taking their hair. I mean, You got the hair is now on your head. Pretty soon the meat will be in your stomach. Pause.
What? That's wild. That's wild. Jeez. One
we
thing
can no longer release an episode on Tuesday.
See, this is what we get for we don't have to work a long day for the man. And one thing I want to point out for our listeners, y'all might be wondering, how long will 300,000 metric tons last? 44 days.
Bruh. They got 90 days for a 44-day supply.
For 40 days.
And we got Labor Day coming up. You know how we like to do on Labor Day.
No burgers.
And the start of college football season.
Yep.
Right.
And tailgates and cookouts.
To advise all of those that listen to the podcast, now might be the time. Now might be the time to not be embarrassed eating a glizzy in public. It might save your life.
See? I was just
no,
because pork prices going up too.
No. Forget pork prices.
Hot dogs.
I'll say beef hot dogs.
Yeah.
You have your good old Zabrats and Nathans.
Yeah, I brought Nathans.
And hold on. And Guadley is chicken, pork, and beef. The beef trimmings.
Look, give me a salmon burger.
I've been ever since I started like working with the smoker. I've been really, really wanting to I got to learn how to do brisket and stuff. I can't bring myself to start learning because I can't bring myself to potentially screw up $100 slab of meat.
Ooh.
Do you realize how pissed I would be to spend 12 hours? First of all, just making a bad brisket. Yeah. But then making a bad brisket and having spent a lot of money for it.
Well, a fraction of the cost, you can just practice to see how it turns out if you cook horse. And you'll know if you overcook it because you'll hear it. It'll hit you with that.
And I think there's other now concerns that we're highlighting is we don't know where our meat is coming from. We don't know if it's U.S.
Ladies of the night don't eat it.
Yeah. There are a couple acts, and one act that I'll throw. Jeez, you wow. The prime act.
It's a way of life, bro.
Oldest occupation.
Hey.
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
The Prime Act amends Section 23 of the Federal Meat Inspection Act that to exempt slaughter and preparation at custom facilities from federal inspections. So it forces, if you are going to sell meat, if you are going to sell animal meat to humans.
Thank you.
I think you're just
for human
lining up with his statement.
I mean,
yeah. It lets each side decide whether to permit or allow various companies to sell meat, whether it can sell to consumers, restaurants, grocery stores, hotel, boarding houses. The meat can't cross state lines.
That's a felony.
And
yeah.
As state and local health authorities regulate it. It is making its way through the Senate. It has some support from Angus King, Rand Paul, and Marsha Blackburn. There's a pilot version that is Section 12114 of the Farm Bill. And now it's just awaiting the Senate to do something. But one of the big things that there's a lot of focus on is labeling where we're getting our food from. And we're seeing this push, we're seeing it right now with meats, but we're talking about soybeans. We're talking about American and voters deserve to know where their food is coming from.
Well, I mean, you don't mind putting this itchy tag in the back of my shirt to tell me where it was made from. Put it on where our food is coming from. Let us know where our food is coming from. I mean, it's not that hard.
If I'm selling you on the whole made in America thing, and then I find out your core thing that the only thing that's made in America is the fact that we package and process it here. If the actual meat was raised in Ulaanbaatar, I may not want that.
Or Wuhan.
Hey,
I may not want that either.
So
definitely
I definitely don't want that. We saw what happened last time. But there is an approved federal term that must be on the label. It is cell cultivated or cell cultured rather than saying lab grown. So read your labels. They've been telling us that forever. Make sure you read your labels, pick it up. I've actually seen some. I was in the store and it was not meat, but it was like a lab grown. I can't even remember what it was, but it said cell cultured item in this packaging or in this food item. I wasn't buying it anyway, but when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, let me read this," because I had just read up on it before all this came out about the horses and all that good stuff. But yeah, make sure that you are looking. If it says cell cultivated, cell cultured, it's lab grown. And the only thing lab grown I want is my diamond.
Right. And my brother Chuck is telling y'all to read, but don't be hard headed, because y'all being hard headed with reading is why we in the position we in the first place.
Why we here in the first place.
So please read.
And at some point, one thing we talk about here is accountability. We got to start holding these packers accountable.
Oh, bro, it's a monopoly.
It's such a vicious monopoly, and they've been pushing American ranchers out for decades.
Well, so I think one of the bills that Massey was talking about, and the ranchers are like, "Hey, look, if you make it where we can sell it, to our consumers, we can sell it locally. That'll help out."
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with the Prime Act. So the Prime bill that I was talking about, it allows state to go ahead and say, you're good to sell. You could either sell to packers or you could sell direct to consumers. So it opens up those avenues for ranchers to go other routes.
I can only imagine a good straight from farm, straight from rancher to that grill. I guarantee that burger, boy. Good God Almighty!
I know how good. I was about to say locally grown or locally harvested eggs are. So I can only imagine. I used to have a coworker who lived out in the country in a lot of lands. She started having the chickens and build a coop and everything, and she would bring some eggs to work. And my first time getting a half dozen from her, oh my Lord,
man, I can only imagine that burger, man. But
that fresh.
It's still sitting there. They ain't gonna let it happen. So again, to what you said, Chuck, where's the America first? You're bringing in foreign meat. There is no real viable solution for these ranchers because, as we stated, this is essentially trying to treat a cruise ship like a Honda Accord and try to do a 3-point turn, bro. It ain't happening that quick. It's not happening quick. And you have a president who is already basically pissed down the legs of farmers and told them it was raining. Well, guess what, ranchers? The same thing is about to happen to you. And it's about to. Well, it is happening.
Tried to tell y'all.
We tried to tell y'all, man.
This was not going to go well.
These people get in these town halls and they preach and play on your emotions and tell you how they care about you. And when it hit the fan, you're the first one to be a casualty.
If someone shows you
who they are,
believe them.
Didn't Maya Angelou tell us that?
If they show you who they are.
If they show you who they are.
That was much better than what I did.
That was so bad. Bruh. To our listeners right now, to our listeners that don't know, and my brothers don't know this, but my shout out to my sister-in-law because she asks me to do all the time, but she asked me to always impersonate Maya Angelou because I do a pretty decent job.
That is pretty good.
No, that was really good. I'd never heard that.
I've never shared it with y'all. This is the first.
Wow,
bro. So when we talk about this beef, right, and the government trying to solve a problem, an expensive problem, there's another bill that needs to is just as big as this beef deal going on, bro. The United States has now officially crossed 40 trillion.
Woo! Yeah.
Hold on, did you say 40 chichachia?
Oh.
Trillion. Shout out to H-Town.
I'm about to say, not no UGK and Bun B.
Bro, 40 trillion in gross federal debt for the first time. And I don't even know if Americans react to these numbers anymore. They hear millions, billions, trillions, and eventually it just starts sounding like monopoly money. But 40 trillion is not just some imaginary number on a government website. As of the milestone, roughly 32.3 trillion was debt held by the public and about 7.8 trillion in intergovernmental debt. Now, debt held by the public is the money Treasury owes to investors and individuals, institutions, banks, pension funds, federal foreign investors, the Federal Reserve, and others that are holding Treasury securities. Is that correct? To our regional banking expert, Chuck, is that correct, brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Just making sure we good.
Although I retired.
Right. But you still have the knowledge, brother, and that's what's important.
You're right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when it comes to the intragovernmental debt, that is money the federal government owes to its own accounts and trust funds. So when somebody says, actually, we don't really owe 40 trillion because part of that money is the government owes itself, that's technically explaining the composition of the debt. It doesn't magically make the obligations disappear. And here is what really has caught everybody's attention. Treasury Secretary Scott. He was asked about us crossing this $40 trillion line. And he said, there's nothing magic about 40 trillion number. And we can grow our way out of it. And I understand what he's arguing to a degree.
No.
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
Sorry. Let me explain where he's getting at. Now, do I agree? No. But I understand in his mind what he's thinking. Countries don't manage debt the same way you and I do a Visa credit card. The United States doesn't necessarily need to pay the entire national debt down to zero, even though we had a chance. And I believe, who was it? Bill Clinton?
Debt free by 2013.
Okay. That's another story. But what matters is the country's capacity to service that debt and the relationship between the size of the debt and the size of the economy. If the economy grows faster than debt, the debt burden can become more manageable related and relative to the GDP. That's the grow our way out of it argument that he's making. You grow the economy, businesses make more money, workers make more money, tax revenues increase, and eventually the debt becomes smaller relative to the economic engine that's supporting it. So that part isn't crazy, but the problem is that's not what the current numbers are showing that's happening right now. The Congressional Budget Office projects the federal government will run about a 1.9 trillion deficit in 2026. The government is expected to spend around 7.3 trillion while collecting roughly 5.6 trillion in revenue. And under the CBO's current law projections, debt held by the public goes from around 101% or 101% of GDP this year to 120% GDP by 2036. So in other words, under the current trajectory, the debt isn't becoming smaller compared to the economy. In actuality, it's becoming larger. So the CBO says its current policies broadly remain in place, that if these current policies broadly remain in place, debt held by the public could reach 175% of GDP by 2056. The COB's own director described the country's fiscal trajectory as not sustainable. So when you hear Scott saying we can grow our way out of it, the real question is, can the economy growth help? Of course it can. The question is, can we grow fast enough to outrun how quickly we're borrowing? Because if you, and we talked about it, and I believe, Manny, you brought this up, if you get a 5% in the previous episode, if you get a 5% raise, but your increase on credit card balance goes to 10%,
Can't outrun
I didn't
that.
grow my way out of anything. I just make more money while getting in debt even faster.
You growing your stress.
Bro, growing your stress. And look, there's a part of the debt story that I think people aren't even paying attention to other than the headline of the $40 trillion itself. It's a word that we often hear in our lives when it comes to debt, and that is interest. The COB projects that the federal government's net interest costs are more than $1 trillion this year. So by 2036, they're projecting it to reach $2.1 trillion every single year. That's not a new road. That's not a new school. That's not a new aircraft carrier. It's not Social Security. It's not Medicare. It's not border security. It's not sending you a check. It's essentially the finance charge for America's previous borrowing. And the more debt we accumulate, guess what? The more interest we owe. The more interest we owe, guess what? The more money we have to borrow. And we start borrowing money partially to cover the cost of the money we already borrowed. And that cycle really should concern people. And there's another development also in that. The Treasury is going to continue the normal debt auction schedule while expanding purchases to certain longer-term Treasury bonds beginning in September. Treasury is trying to improve liquidity in the long-term bond market after long-term yields move sharply higher. And the government currently has roughly $940 billion sitting in the Treasury General account at the Federal Reserve, giving Treasury some room to maneuver. But buying bonds around the edges doesn't solve the basic math. America is still running an enormous annual deficit. So, Manny, Republicans, they like tax cuts. Democrats, they like spending programs, but both parties like spending when it's something that voters support. But nobody wants to tell seniors we're cutting Social Security or Medicare. Nobody wants to call weak. Because on defense.
The seniors are still the ones making the decisions over where this money is going.
Bruh. Nobody wants to raise taxes. Nobody wants to cut benefits. So when we're at $40 trillion and you have the secretary saying that this isn't a magical number and that America will grow out of it, that doesn't automatically mean that he's wrong, but it's worth asking what changed. What are we going to do?
Look, we got 5 options. And let's be frank. And they all suck. There's not a great option here.
Nope.
You mentioned the first one, grow out of it. Mathematically would work.
Yeah.
If we just curtailed our spending.
In theory.
If we just, hey, we're going to spend this amount. We're just going to do it every year. We're not going to, we're not
going to live outside our means.
Right. Then we could potentially grow our way out of it. Another option, we could cut spending.
That's a bad word.
We could just not spend so much. Crazy thought. Another crazy thought, we could raise revenue.
Yeah.
Option. We could reform our big programs. There are 10,000 baby boomers retiring a day. We've known for years that these big programs were not financially solvent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been time for us to do something about it. But there's a 5th option. And
what's that, brother?
And what concerns me about this 5th option is I actually think it's the option they're thinking about. And that is the option of inflating it away.
Yep.
Geez, if I owed you $1,000 in 1970, in 2026, that $1,000 is way more than $1,000. What is $40 trillion if $1 million is like $20 now?
Yep.
And you're talking about a extremely humongous tax on people who've been saving. The same baby boomer crowd who's dependent on these programs and the Gen X and millennial. Like, that's who it's going to hit. And we don't have the social infrastructure to deal with that. All of the options suck. But at some point, we're going to have to make a decision before the decision is made for us.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's very comical that they're going with this grow out of it thought process.
Where we're not growing like that.
Well, you made a point, Manny. It's the seniors who are still running things, who are having this thought process because they're thinking about a time of yesteryear. Bro. So let's have a little history lesson on top of these economics. The last time, or the quintessential time, where this grow out of it debt theory, story, whatever you want to call it, was successful, was post-World War II. Let me say that again, people. Post-World War II. At a time where we were what? A manufacturing
powerhouse.
Yes. So here's the combination that made it successful. Rapid economic growth. Population growth. Productivity gains. Relatively strong tax revenues. Moderate inflation. And a period of budget restraint. Now let's look at these in comparison to 2026. We told y'all the economy is almost at a standstill. And we have no driving factor to get it going again. This is like your car stalling out and you had a manual car, or you stall out because you ran out of gas. And I learned a trick where you could pop the clutch with a manual and then get a fire back up and crank it up to make sure you can get to the gas station. That's not how this economy works.
Not at all.
The next step, population growth. Well, the reports have come out year over year for the past few years. We're on a population decline, folks. People are not having children. You know why?
Because
it's too darn expensive.
Can't afford.
I pay upwards of $18,000 a year for childcare.
For childcare.
So I can go to work.
So you can go to work to pay it.
To pay it.
Let's go to the I'll hold productivity gains to the side because I have another point for that one. But relatively strong tax revenues. Well, as my good brothers just said, people like tax cuts, number one. Number two, these boomers don't want you taxing their saved money. So where are we getting this government revenue from? Because that's how the government essentially makes their money. We know what's going on with inflation. And quite honestly, to the point Manny was making of hyperinflating this, if inflation is lower, that means the interest on the debt is lower. But it also means the economy is going to go in a tailspin with the current state that it's in. That's why the Federal Reserve has not lowered interest rates, even though at Trump's beckoning time and time again, it has not happened.
Bingo.
Now, periods of budget restraint. We have a ballroom that is supposed to be built.
Privately funded.
That was supposed to be privately funded. And they were supposed to be doing a bunker underneath. But guess what? I want to say today, the Washington Post released an article stating that some 10 years ago, guess what Obama did? Obama had a fortified bunker built under the White House that could withstand a national security emergency to hold him and the top aides. Who knew about that? Nobody.
Nobody.
Except for the select few who was supposed to know about it. The Washington Post dropped that. I want to say it was today, if I'm not mistaken. It was today or yesterday, but it was relatively recent.
But it makes sense for all that construction that they were doing right around all the beautifications and the restoring projects. Yep.
Let's go to budget restraint. What you did with that pool was a waste of money. What you did with the UFC fight was a waste of money. The debacle of this IndyCar race over the weekend,
waste
of money. Them drivers were pissed and complaining about that race. The America 250 celebration, waste of money.
Nobody showed up for.
All those darn fireworks that you release at the same time that clouded up the sky and caused a
couldn't breathe.
An air hazard. A waste of money. And we can go on and on of the different wastes that we have encountered. But I'm gonna go back to productivity gains. Because you know what it takes to have productivity gains?
What is that, bro?
A workforce. A workforce.
Sound like that's dwindling.
And it not sounds like the numbers keep telling us that, and the revision for the previous job numbers where they said, oh, we had some nice work gains. Oh no.
No, you
those
didn't.
real numbers.
No, you didn't.
The real number said, psych, this ain't real. So this theory of we can just grow out of it is simply that, a theory. It's a time of yesteryear. That's not where we are today. And they have to be realistic. No, what they need to do is get out of the way.
Yeah.
Move.
I about to say, I don't need you. I don't need you to have an epiphany. I don't need you to realize nothing. Get out of the way.
Let somebody else come in. And you mentioned Bill Clinton and the balancing of the budget and the surplus. One thing that aided that administration in that time period was the boom of the internet age and the .com rolling into that period. We are in an age where that could be possible if done properly. However, as many of these companies in such an asinine way has laid off a workforce to retract and come back and hire people, but of what they thought AI would do for them has been counterproductive from a productivity standpoint. Again, we've said time and time again, AI is a tool. It is not the source. And these big companies are not using it as a tool to enhance their workforce. They're using it as a source. So again, get out the way. Let somebody in with some fresh minds, some fresh thoughts, and not delusions of grandeur of yesteryear to fix this issue.
And that's an excellent point, Chuck, because Scott is 64 years old, born in 1962. Not saying that 64 is old, but the time that he is accustomed to seeing in the 60s is not what we are today.
If we let it grow away and outgrow it, and he's 64, say it take us 10, 15 years. At that stage, you're not a contributor.
Nope. Not at all. So I think that, man, when you say things like this and you look and you don't realize, you say these things, but what you really show the American people is that you lack a true understanding and a real grip of where we are and what it takes to get out of this.
But we knew this.
I mean, we
knew this.
I mean,
we should be shocked by this point.
Well, I don't think anybody should. Well, there's some people that are shocked.
The experts have
the
been telling
entire
them, they don't
first
listen.
half of this episode are people being shocked that this stuff is happening.
Yeah. But that if we're at 40 trillion right now, by the time that this administration is done, I mean, where do you think realistically, where do you think that number might be at?
Well, let's put that in perspective. 1/3 of the national debt has been since COVID. And the money we spent in COVID, and I still struggle with that.
Hold on, Manny, because that 1/3 does not give a full, clear. Let's run some numbers. At the start of Trump's first term, the national debt was $19.95 trillion. We just in less than 10 years.
10 years.
In less than 10 years, we've doubled the national debt. And just at the start of his second term, we've thrown almost $4 trillion on top of the national debt. Now, understand, I'm not giving him the full blame.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of it, but with COVID, that caused a one, like we said, that was a once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah.
So how
and
things
I think that it was justified use.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's why I said he doesn't get the full blame of it. There was an anomaly of a happenstance where you had to address things that were going on.
Yeah.
But all the things you've done since then.
Hot mess.
Bruh.
All of the things.
Man, you talk about just letting him do projects and stuff and not worry about all the other stuff.
Hey, that's that group member. That's that group member. I don't want him in my group. The last time he did a group project,
you gave him the job. You did all the work and said, "Hey, look, just submit it. That's all you got to do." You come up and find out he didn't do that. Yeah, bro. Bro, it's no telling, man. And it's just it's frightening to have people in places that don't have an understanding of what they're doing and how to do it and the implications of what they do and those lasting impressions. And I think everything to pull all three of these things together, they talk so much in short-term relief, but they don't realize long-term consequences. You know, everything that they do, you may be bringing in farm beef knocks down, a few cents at the grocery store. Maybe, the Treasury can stabilize the bond market. Maybe the food, safety system catches the next contaminated ingredient faster. But eventually you only govern by figuring out how to get through the next 60 days. And that's what they keep doing. Everything is the next 60 days, the next this, the next day. Then, we get through the next month, the next year. But the problem in all of this, eventually, the long term becomes today. And what are you doing? These bandages don't matter.
I wouldn't even call them bandages.
Right. You're right.
It's a wrap cloth.
Right. If you took one of
tore off a part of a t-shirt.
Bro, if you took one of Elmer Fudd's Looney Tunes shotguns to the chest and said, "Hey, put this finger band-aid over it," this might be short-term relief, but it's got long-term consequences. And right now, that's what all three of these things that we've discussed. That's the similarity between all of them, because eventually, again, long-term becomes today. And just like those ranchers, you got a short-term relief for consumers, but what's the long-term that's going to meet the front door of those ranchers that we see happen in agriculture, where land has to be sold, equipment has to be sold, the product we shutting down. Some of these ranchers are generational ranchers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta shut it down.
Don't worry,
see it happening.
Don't worry. I'm sure that land is going to go to great use for a data center. I digress.
That's cold.
I digress.
Cold-blooded.
I digress. I digress.
But you're 100%.
You ain't tell no lie.
No, in the making of this, there was no lie told. So that is our coverage of what has happened lately with the FDA recalls, the beef, and where we find ourselves with $40 trillion of debt. So, brothers, before we move on, any other questions, any other comments?
Peace be the journey.
Oh man, dang, yeah.
Hey, you said how long I got before I could become a pescatarian, a pescatarian?
Hey man,
I want to be. Do I want to be Pentecostal, pescatarian, Protestant,
or
which one I want to be? Or persuasive? I want to be a prognosticator.
Hey, bro. Hey, pick one of them.
Protagonist. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, hey Manny, I'm sorry, brother.
Hey, look.
Either you gonna have to just see if that allergen is really there, or you had to pay the price, bro.
I already told you. Y'all already know what my plan is. I'm about to get these chickens. Quack, 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 quack.
Hey, good luck. Cause when that feed and all them operational costs to keep them chickens afoot.
You know what?
You gonna have some very lean, slim chickens.
You be eating chicken feet.
It won't even be worth the wing, brother.
But,
or you can get them lab grown. I mean, that's probably what we already doing anyway, because you heard it before when they had the wing shortage, but we ain't run out of thighs and breasts and legs. And but they come with 2 wings. I don't know how we got all the other pieces of the chicken.
Look, the person y'all got to be worried for, like, I'm gonna be down bad, but the person you're gonna be worried for is my kids, because we were leaving church yesterday and I asked, hey, where do y'all want to go eat? Oh, we want to go have Korean barbecue. What?
Oh, see, yeah,
man, you are 5.
Never.
Logan be on that too, though, bro. She be on that Korean barbecue. Like, she like that she can cook herself. That's what it is. I can give you that experience at home.
Barbecue.
Bro, Chuck.
Bro, come on, man.
Hate it.
They got this one. They got this one here, bro. It's a Korean barbecue and hot pot that you do it together.
Listen, Korean barbecue is no different than self checkout. Yeah. Why am I paying? Okay. Why am I paying you to do my own stuff? I gotta pay for the stuff and do the work. Why?
I get it. I get it.
So if I see somebody, checking out, look, if I see somebody at the register, I'm going to check out.
But
at
see,
that register.
But see, I don't mind paying that price because I ain't got to do the dishes after I finish cooking.
I ain't got to do the dishes at Hibachi either, and he cooked right in front of me.
That's also
and he give me a show.
Bro, I ain't had good.
I have not sat down at a hibachi spot in a minute, bro. I've had hibachi, but to sit down in front of it and let them cook, I haven't been in one of those places in a while.
I know we got to finish the episode. We almost there, but my favorite content on Instagram right now is this dude with the mullet. I think it's mullet review. Shout out to you, bro. He going to all these Chinese buffet restaurants. Is it
the one that tells like stomach hurts or something like that?
Yes, it did.
Bro. I thought you was gonna say when they have all the videos they be having all the old people that be at the hibachi places when they do the little fire joint with the onion.
Nah.
and they be getting scared.
Bro.
Nah, you gotta check my man Mullet review out, bro. He's
there's another old white guy. He might be like past his 60s, but he goes to all of the like all the culture spots. So he'll go to like Lebanese, Ethiopian restaurants and stuff, and he just order stuff.
Yeah,
and give his review about it, and that's like be cracking me up because
right.
I'm about to find that some of those spots.
Hey, he be like, and you call this what now? Yeah, okay. Bro, so we've reached that point of our episode where we like to give you our spotlight of the week.
Pickle.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, sir. Pickle.
Yeah. When I get us all into the biggest pickle any of us had ever seen.
I was pushing us a little. I was moving offense a little too fast down the field, bro.
I mean, the way everything we talked about, you could just make the case.
It felt like a big pickle. It felt like a big pickle segment. Like we did. Everybody's in pickle.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take this pickle down to where my brother Chuck is at in the great state of Georgia. And this pickle is going to none other than Rick Jackson, the Republican nominee for governor of Georgia, because he has built a campaign around immigration enforcement. And the last thing you want is a story involving your own company, immigrant workers, and involving ICE in a multi-million-dollar settlement. So For those of you that don't know, Rick Jackson is a billionaire founder, chairman, and CEO of Jackson Healthcare. His
AKA
company,
Trump 2.0, per
yes,
his own words.
yes. His company acquired Advent Healthcare Professionals in 2018, a staffing company that recruits nurses and other healthcare workers internationally. Now, here's where Rick finds himself in a pickle. Jackson ran some of the most aggressive immigration ads in his Georgia campaign. His campaign platform promises to make Georgia #1 in the country for deporting undocumented immigrants who commit crimes, which I hate when they say that as a campaign slogan, because just like Trump, you talk about getting these undocumented immigrants who are committing crime, then the people that you are attacking and getting out of here ain't committing crimes. But I digress. And one campaign ad warned that those immigrants would be deported or departed. So
one of his first ads.
That's a wild line, bro.
Wild statement to say out loud.
One of his first ads, yes.
But of course, it was reported this past week that Abbott recently settled a lawsuit brought by foreign-born nurses who accused the company of using coercive employment practices. And what they were doing is that these nurses were coming over here legally. But the lawsuit alleges that these internationally recruited nurses were placed into restrictive contracts that were and that leaving early would expose them to major financial penalties. One plaintiff alleged she feared owing somewhere between $26,000 and $30,000.
Yes.
And a court records say that she was threatened with being reported to ICE after submitting her resignation. Now, bro.
Yep.
Come on now. Rick, I mean, I get your stance, but because these nurses,
I don't.
Well, I mean, I get his for him. You got,
yeah.
Gotta take yourself out your mind a little bit, brother, to understand people sometimes. Sometimes you gotta go on the back porch instead of the French. So these cases were serious in that in 2024, a federal judge refused to dismiss claims brought forth under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act and RICO, although those claims were dismissed. So eventually the case was settled. More than 5,200 current and former workers were eligible under a roughly $3 million settlement, with an outstanding employment fee also being waived. Avent, of course, denied any wrongdoing, and the settlement, of course, was not an admission of liability. But his immigration position is aimed at people that are in the country illegally who commit crimes, but these nurses were here legally. So how are you using ICE
recruited
and recruited? But then when they want to leave because they feel like they are being treated unfairly, you use ICE as a tool to threaten them to continue to work for you under those terms. So the problem is the allegation of immigration enforcement itself was used as leverage against legal immigrant workers. Bruh, Rick.
Legal.
Rick,
emphasize legal.
Bro, you dirty for that.
Super dirty.
That's some nasty work, bro. And especially when you think about this report coming out, and it's being reported that in a poll that were recently conducted between August the 16th and 17th, it had Jackson at 46.3% and Democratic Keisha Lance Bottom at 46.2%. So essentially, you'd call that a dead heat. So, Rick, when the difference between becoming governor and going back to the boardroom might be this fraction of a percentage point, having voters suddenly asking questions about their business practices, these immigrant nurses, and threatening to involve ICE, my good sir, might be in a pickle. So, Rick, you're in a pickle this week, bro. You're in a pickle, bro.
You know what's crazy? That first ad saying either you're going to be deported or departed was so egregious, and they received so much pushback from it. His next release commercial was a commercial of him sitting on the couch with his grandchildren.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
The grandchildren were like, "Why'd you look so mean in your ad? Oh, let's help you out. Let's dress you up. Let's take a picture by the truck. Everybody loves trucks." It's nasty work, bro.
Nasty.
I don't even see how you even consider. I know how they do it, but And his latest ad, and I'll move off this, is he's trying to make himself relatable, saying that he grew up in the projects.
Oh, bro, come on now.
He roughed it out and went through foster care.
He got it out the mud.
Yeah. But let's be honest about it. Oh, and they said that he was poor white trash and a broke cracker. His ad. Not me saying this. This was on the ad. But what they don't say is the projects that he grew up in are predominantly African American now, but when you lived there, it was not.
It must have been during them times where once the first black person moved in, all the white folks got out.
Scattered.
Yeah. And note to any politician, just like black people don't hang themselves on trees, black people don't call white people poor white trash.
Definitely
Just
don't.
let y'all know. Just let y'all know.
That's a y'all term.
Yeah.
Bro, nasty. So Rick, yeah. That race is gonna be very interesting, man.
It's gonna be
All
very
the races.
interesting.
All the races.
I have some points that Keisha could use, but
we ain't giving a free
you
game.
To get on it. I ain't giving no free game. Because John Ossoff killing it.
Hey, bro.
He killing it.
Clark Kent. I like John, bro. John don't play no games. Bro.
He killing it.
He
gave us Natalie Hart.
Hey, bro.
He did.
And Natalie, you were my original pickle, but you need something worse than that. You just nasty.
She get her pickles.
Come on now. I was getting ready to say, can she actually really be in the pickle? Because she's in a place where she wants to be.
Yeah, hey.
Usually if you're in a pickle, you're in a place that you don't really want to be all that much. I think Natalie Hart
she's
is
disgusting.
Exactly where she wants to be.
She don't want to be there, but trauma and grief got her there and she blinded by it. Because
Stockholm syndrome.
Bruh. Because I know her pops passed away. And if this is how you get over that by fantasizing with this nasty one, you need counseling, baby.
Better health.
Need prayer and supplication.
Yeah, you need to throw you right in front of that altar.
In the arms of an angel.
Does the White House insurance plan cover mental health screenings?
Of course not. You see how many, bro? It's like a psych.
They don't
ward
believe
there,
in
bro.
mental health. They don't believe in mental health.
But like that don't mean they don't got the coverage. They can
don't
have the
believe in
coverage and not
vaccines,
use
so
it.
they don't believe in mental health.
They don't believe in vaccines. They don't believe in mental health. Bro, there's a lot of stuff they don't believe. You know how many mental folks walking around that place right now?
Leading with the head man in charge.
Bro, it smell mental in there.
Oh, it probably smells like something.
Oh, it's definitely smell like something. There ain't enough outlets in the White House for them Glade plug-ins. That's it up out of there.
Doing overtime.
The smell is not fundamental in there at all.
But yeah, that's my pickle of the week, man. And Natalie, watch yourself, man. I need Melania to stand up for herself. I thought Melania
she ain't gonna stand up for herself.
She's just there for the check. At this
popped
point,
out.
I was expecting her to be a strong woman.
Did you miss me? No, we did not.
We ain't seen you since you talked about. I didn't know Epstein. I didn't know Epstein. Yeah. His victim. Nothing. That's the last time we seen Melania.
it's true.
All right. Well, we have reached the conclusion of our episode. And guys, as always, we like to bring you our spotlight of the week. So my brother Manny, I'll go to you first. What is your spotlight of the week?
All right. So before I begin my spotlight, Chuck took my first opening that I just like to remind all of our listeners that Black people traditionally do not commit suicide by hanging themselves from trees.
Facts on facts.
That's the first note.
New one reported. It's crazy.
Another one. Ridiculous.
The second thing I'll denote, what I did not have on my bingo card for 2026 was the fact that saying I stand with Miss Rachel was going to be a political stance that I had to take this year. But alas, here we are. So I'll say for the pod, I stand with Miss Rachel that kids deserve to live and to grow up, and Black men and Black boys deserve to be happy.
Oh, that's what all this hubbub was about.
Oh yeah, those two things. That's why they mad at Miss Rachel.
Oh wow,
Bruh,
I saw the headlines, but I didn't read into it because I don't have kids who watch Miss Rachel, so I really didn't pay. Oh, I stand with Miss Rachel too.
Miss Rachel said she's down for the cause, bro. She ain't playing no games, and
so,
folks is hot about it.
Miss Rachel, if you hear this, I just want you to know you are always invited.
Yes,
to my house for a cookout. Now, my kids are probably going to ask you to sing, and you going to just have to deal with that. But you are always invited. So now,
bro, having Miss Rachel come to the house to sing is wild, bro.
Boy, that would be mayhem at your house, bro.
Bro. All right, so let's get to my actual spotlight of the week. So this is something I've been tracking for a couple weeks, and finally now seemed like the appropriate time to talk about it. So it's two stories that are moving away from each other at the same speed in different directions. The first one takes us to California with Assembly Bill 2047, the California Firearm Printing Prevention Act. It was introduced back in February, and it does something that no other state has done at this standpoint. And this applies definitely to me. Chuck also has some interest in this area. It's dealing with 3D printing and regulation. So what this bill would do, it would require that every consumer 3D printer sold in California would have to ship with a software program, essentially that's called firearm blocking technology. It could be hardware, it could be firmware, it could be integrated software that basically runs through the 3D printer and the files, and it refuses to start any type of print job that would look like it would create a firearm. The California Department of Justice wrote the standards on this, on what they would consider a gun. Manufacturers would be required to file self-attestations under perjury penalty. And then the Department of Justice would publish a roster. And that if your printer was not listed on the roster, it could not be sold in the state of California. Let's go to the second story. In Texas, on August 17th, the U.S. District Court Judge Reed O'Connor issued a 29-page opinion in the Defense Distributed versus Blanche trial, declaring two provisions of the ATF 2022 frame or receiver rule unconstitutional. Basically void for vagueness under the Fifth Amendment due process clause and a violation under the Second Amendment history and tradition test the Supreme Court set out a little while back. That is the same rule the Supreme Court just held up in a 7-2 ruling back in March of 2025. So the strange thing about this story and why I'm tracking it is, so the state is getting ready to mandate that a software do some regulation, that a software is responsible for controlling a behavior rather than a person. While all at the same time, the federal government can't define at what point plastic becomes a firearm. Because if you make a plastic tube, at what point is that just a plastic tube for a straw? And at what point does it become a firearm? And it's real interesting. So for those of you who don't know, I 3D print. I enjoy 3D printing. I print a lot of random stuff. Why? Because it brings me joy and happiness. And if you think that's weird, I don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care at all. We don't care. But it's like, if software is responsible for defining what this definition is, but you don't know what that definition is, how can you expect it to be effective or to be useful? Are ghost guns a problem? Absolutely. Absolutely. But to respond by over-regulating in a situation that is going to be vague is going to be weird. Like, one of the things that comes up, and if you look out there is a fair amount of people who do cosplay, who do prop guns. Are we stopping that? Is that not going to be allowed? So where is the line? And how do we have the balance? And who ultimately deals with who gets policed? Who's controlling these companies? How are you going to stop this? Because if I stop the sale in California, cool. What is stopping me from, of course, there's also a transit piece, but what's truly actually stopping me from getting one from the state of Nevada and bringing it back?
A flock camera.
You're right. You're right. Them flock cameras. Well, there we go. So spotlight over. Now, in regards to the assembly bill, it's gone through the House. It's making its way through the Senate. It is the schedule has it opened up where it could be voted on at any point during session, but California session only has 4 or 5 more days left. So we'll see what happens with it. But this is a real interesting crosshairs of not only Second Amendment rights, but freedom of expression rights and what will end up happening. And I think what's concerning for me in all of this is it was an old IBM manual that said a computer must never make a decision because a computer cannot be held accountable. And as we keep driving towards deeper and deeper tech indoctrination in our lives, we see computers being in charge of hundreds of thousands of things, making lots of decisions.
Yes.
But they can't. So who's going to be held accountable for technology making incorrect decisions? This might just be a story on surface level about 3D printing, but if you dig deeper, we are entrusting decision-making powers to more and more technology every day, and we cannot hold these things accountable. This is the plot of every sci-fi movie that's pretty much ever been made.
All the ones that go bad.
Look, there are 2 movies that I believe that Will Smith really, really just tried to warn us about. It's I, Robot and it's I Am Legend. We're going to have to make a decision at what point we are going to cede responsibility and control as a species. Bump a country as a species. And we got to stop letting this technology can help inform a decision, but it must not ever make a decision. So that's my spotlight of the week, Jeez.
All right. Well, Brother Chuck, what you got?
Before I give you my spotlight, I loved your spotlight, Manny, up until the point you tried to implicate me for any federal crimes.
My bad.
Hey, I 3D print, and Chuck is in interested in this topic as well. Oh, thanks, brother. Oh man, but yeah, I loved your spotlight, man. Really loved it. My spotlight this week, I'm gonna go a little lighter. I'm gonna go, and I'm actually gonna shine a spotlight on someone. One of our, well, I say our, like I was about to say mine, but one of our college friends and buddies and pals and homies is an aspiring and up and coming. Well, it's not aspiring. He is an author. He's a author. I'll put it like that.
Author, yeah.
His name is N.M. Porterfield, and as you can see here, he has his own comic line or his own comic series, Hero City Rejects. I've had this for some time now, actually. He had a Kickstarter, I want to say, or a Spring Form, one of them. And I contributed to it. Very dope comic line of black superheroes. Well, more than just black, but the main star of it is a black superhero. And he has, me participating, I got stickers, and this is an original story, an original superhero. As you can see here, I'm trying to reduce the glare. Some of his artwork, and I believe if he didn't do the art himself, he was heavily involved in the creation of the artwork. it's just super dope stuff. And I wanted to spotlight him. Very good dude. Been knowing him for a while now.
Right.
Very, I'm not gonna say humble because he's a humble guy, but he's one of those people that you would be glad to say I know and connected with. Unlike me, I'm a terrible person. But if you want to connect with him on the socials, it's your favorite author. All together. The your is you are. So your favorite author. This comic here is Hero City Rejects, and just want to shout him out. North Carolina guy. Hey,
Yes,
so
sir.
take it back home. Fellow graduate of East Carolina University. Shout out to you, brother.
Yes, sir. And that's East Carolina University, not Eastern.
Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me say,
I hate when people do that.
I loved that ECU jumped on the trend of the Netflix documentary. So
Bruh.
they had the Petey the Pirate, the Netflix documentary of everybody calling us Eastern Carolina. But yeah,
Bruh,
shout out to you.
I believe that moment would happen so much that's why they just went and said, "Hey, we just gonna be recognized as ECU."
Yeah,
We're tired.
We just gonna change everything.
We're tired of this.
We tired of this. Well, the close things out. My spotlight of the week is on a meeting that may tell us more about November than either party would like to admit. The House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, privately met with
APAC Jeffries.
APAC Jeffries. No, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
He privately met with Jared Kushner in New York several weeks ago. They reportedly discussed housing, immigration, and the cost of living. And Kushner even suggested that Jeffries have a follow-up meeting with White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. Now, normally two people from opposite parties sitting down and talking wouldn't be crazy, but I think with this, the timing makes this interesting. We're about 10 weeks from midterms. And Democrats have a legitimate opportunity to take control of the House. And if they do, Jeffries is positioned to become Speaker of the House. And obviously, apparently, Jared Kushner knows how to read a calendar. So even Republican Speaker Mike Johnson has joked that Kushner is a smart guy who hedges his bets. But here's where it gets messy for Jeffries. Democrats aren't just promising to disagree with Trump if they win. They're talking about investigations. They're talking about subpoenas, aggressive oversight of the Trump administration and his family. And Kushner himself could be one of the people under that microscope.
Should be number two.
Could.
Definitely. Bruh.
Would.
Definitely. So some Democrats are basically asking, why is the man who could soon control the subpoena power sitting down privately with one of the people Democrats would want to subpoena? Something doesn't look right. So it could be Trump just wanting to orchestrate things because he realized the writing on the wall and where Democrats are going to be after midterm. So it'll be very interesting. This is why it's my spotlight of what happens next. Do we see or actually have any reporting that Jeffrey actually does meet with Susie Wiles? Does this turn into genuine negotiation between Trump and the Democrats? Or, is Jared Kushner quietly preparing the White House for something Republicans won't publicly admit yet, that they're going to lose? So it's going to be interesting, man, because somebody in Washington is preparing for a very different January. And that's why it's my spotlight to keep a look on it.
There you go.
Yeah. APAC Jeffries, if you got some nasty dealings going on.
Oh, you already know he does. You already know.
Should have known, bro. Should have known. Well, to our listeners, we reached the conclusion of this episode. First, we want to thank you for tuning in. We know that this week was a little different with us releasing on Tuesday. I know you guys are normally used to us releasing on Monday, but hey, life. That's it.
Life. Yep.
Simple as that. Life. So I wonder, will it take me under? I don't know.
So we thank you for just sticking in there with us and listening to this episode for the duration of this episode. And as we always tell you, first, like, share, follow, subscribe, reach out to the boys here at the pod on our socials. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, just anything you want us to cover, or you just want to hear our thoughts, Let us know. Reach out to us. And as always, if don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. Share. Pass the pod on to someone else. If you've enjoyed the content that we have been releasing, let us know. We'd be glad to hear from you. So to my brothers, all hearts and minds clear.
Just real quick, to that point about reaching out to us, those who have reached out, we've read it.
Sure.
We're still mulling some of it and mulling over some of it and
for
discussing it. But we've read it. So yeah, please
don't think that you reaching out has fallen on deaf ears.
There we go, boy. Yes, sir.
We certainly have heard you.
We've read it. There's a cost benefit analysis that we do in all that we do. But yeah, we definitely have read it. So keep reaching out. We appreciate you.
We will get back to you as quickly as we can.
Tell Trump to calm down and stop so much chaos so we got time to process what
right.
So yeah, to our listeners again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you at the next episode. So take care, world. We'll see you then.
Peace.